Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Grand Cat and today we are going to be unboxing Tails 9, who is just called 9, in Sonic Prime from New York City, and in the next video we're going to be looking at Thorn Rose. Of course, in the previous video we only had access, well, the previous set of videos, we only had access to Mr. Dr. Eggman and Sonic from Sonic Prime himself, but now the second half of this set has released. And one of the things I really want to point out here is you can see here that normally it's only like 13 points for articulation, sometimes it's 12, sometimes it's 8. With 9, you have 70 points of articulation, which I think is a brand new record for Jakks specific. So let's put Amy, or Thorn Rose, over to the side, because we are going to be focusing today on 9. So let's read his little blurb first. So, it says up here, let me just bring this in just a little bit closer for you guys. A loner by choice, Tails 9 has an edge to him due to years of honing his survivor's instinct. And there we go. Also, you can see in the image, it looks like this was supposed to have sort of a shine to it, a kind of metal look. Metallic look. Oh my goodness, I could not say that right for some reason there. But as you can see on the actual figure itself, it's just more of a kind of greyish colour. So I think that's maybe one of the things that maybe had to compromise when they were going from the original test version to the finished product. Which, unfortunately, this does happen when it comes to these things. But without any further ado, let us jump right in and take a look at good old Tails Prime. Now, we are not keeping the box, and anyone who's new to the channel, we go through the entire unboxing from start straight to the finish, so there is nothing that is missed out. There is no heating up any of the plastic between shots, or there's no accessories that are missing. The entire thing is all done on camera for you guys. So let's see what it is that we are looking at here. So it looks like we've got, oh, that's interesting. So Tails actually comes entirely out of this packaging, like so. And then he has this secondary packaging, which presumably is what they are using to keep him in. So, okay, so we need to cut off these little bits here at the wrists, so let's get those out of the way with our incredibly not very sharp scissors, because someone keeps stealing my sharp scissors. They know who it is, and they won't stop doing it. So, very rude of them, but here we are. The little snip there, and a little snip here. There we are, then 9 should now be free. So, because the feet are on this side, I think we are going to bring him out this way. Okay, so he slips down there. There's a hole that is large enough, and there we go. We now have one very miffed version of Tails from an alternative future, which is very, very cool to see. I really like the design choice that they went with Tails with this one, because normally, like, he's seen as a coward and, you know, wimpy and this kind of thing, and with 9, they really turned that around, so I'm very, very pleased with it. So we have a lot of articulation to talk about here. So the two tails are actually linked together, as we can see, so that's interesting. Also, the tails have more mould to them than normal. We have all these different lines across the white part of the tail. Only that is just pure white. The tails do rotate. I think they're on a ball joint, yes, so the tails can go up and down as well. And where we get the 70 points of articulation is all of these plastic parts here all move separately. So that is very, very cool to see. Let's just mess around with it a little bit. So I think the first time you see 9, it's sort of like this, where the metal parts are actually covering the two tails, and maybe something a bit like that. There we are. It's not perfect, but it's a little bit like that he starts off with, and then he goes into the full-on spider version. So you can see here that Tails also has his hair slicked up. He also has more mould lines here along the fur that you can see across the eyebrows and such there. So they really have went into a lot more detail with this one. Now, of course, the Sonic Prime figures are 6-inch scale rather than 4-inch scale, so it gives them a little bit more to work with. And this is interesting. You can actually see here the ball joint that, if the camera would focus, camera, please. It is so infused, there we go. It's on this ball joint that you can actually see underneath the neck part there. So it gives a lot more articulation and movement. We have the arms. The elbows are also on a ball socket, so that allows you to change around quite a bit there. The hands are also on ball sockets. So there's an awful lot going on with this figure. He does have a knee joint, but it's kind of hidden underneath this these shorts here. So he isn't going to get an awful lot of articulation in the knee, but the foot is also on a ball joint, as you can see there. If it would focus, camera, you can see there that you do have a lot of range with that part there. So it's very cool. They really put a lot of effort into this one. You can, there you are, get him to tinker around with the thing in his hand and such. And yeah, also I love the look of this version of Tails. You know, it's so different to the normal version of him. So let's extend out the tails again, I suppose, for all intents and purposes, and see what it all fully looks like there. And this one sort of comes over the top. They really have made Tails look closer to a villain than, you know, your typical main protagonist in this version. So it's really cool. I will also be honest, I've only watched the first couple of episodes of Sonic Prime. I know this is pretty bad, that I really should be doing my homework beforehand. Oh, if you turn the tails around, he actually sits perfectly. It's almost as if they realised that this was going to be a problem, that he was going to be, you know, slightly back heavy with the tails and everything going on here. But they've actually fixed that problem by making it so that Tails can actually help stand the figure as well. So that is really very, very cool what they've done here. As it says on the box, you know, tons of articulation with this figure. So this is one of the coolest I think Jakks Pacific has done for a while. In terms of all the moving parts and all the detail and everything, I think they've really went out of their way to make this into something special, to say the least. You know, I'm going to bring this one down here instead. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit nicer, a little bit cooler, but yes. So before we move on to anything else, let's do a little bit of size comparison. So we do have the Sonic from Sonic Prime, who is quite a bit taller than what Tails is, which makes sense as he's supposed to be. We have Mr. Dr. Eggman, who is of course the New York City variant of Dr. Eggman. And you can see that Dr. Eggman is a little bit taller there than Tails, but he should be significantly taller. So they've got the right height difference between Sonic and Tails, but I feel like Mr. Dr. Eggman really should have been slightly bigger. But maybe they just couldn't change that because of the scaling that they'd ordered. They kind of wanted to make all these 6-inch, so that's what's going on there. To compare with our 4-inch regular line, let's see, if we move Mr. Dr. Eggman here, let's bring in tails. So this is tails from the modern figures of Jakks Pacific, which is your 4-inch version. And you can see there that there is a massive difference between your regular tails and 9. So it is quite difficult to have your Sonic Prime universe standing next to the rest of your Sonic figures, because there will be a noticeable difference in height. However, Mr. Dr. Eggman fits in perfectly to the height of your 4-inch tails as well. So, without any further ado, let us move these figures along to the side. And you know how we finish off our videos here. We bring in the little rotation gimmick, and I'm going to give you guys a full 360 of 9 and let you guys see that. So this is entirely what our new 9 figure looks like. This is the one that I was most looking forward to out of all of the Series 1 Sonic Prime figures, because I really wanted to see how they were going to do the 9 metal tails, well, the 7 metal tails and the regular 2 tails for 9, and I think they've done it really well. I think they've really pulled off something awesome here, as you can see. But that is going to be it for this little video, folks. I really hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy it, please give me a like, share and subscribe, and if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so you can see when more of these little videos go out, and we shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.